Anyways, let's move on now to NASCAR. They're testing rain tires at Martinsville. Is this a good idea? The answer is very basic, and everybody probably agrees with me. Yes, obviously this is a good idea for NASCAR to test rain tires at Martinsville, because I personally wish they could have rain tires at every track if that would work. And I think this is a product of that Bristol race when they were trying those different tires, and so they had guys going out to Martinsville and basically testing these new rain tires that they got, that I think they might have had on standby for the Bristol race or something. They're basically testing it to see if everything is good. You know, first of all, they need to get rid of these mid-afternoon races, because it's more likely that a race is going to be rained out in the middle of an afternoon, and a lot of the tracks that they race at, because they race a lot in the Midwest and towards the east, on the East Coast, where mid-afternoon thunderstorms are pretty common, like Pocono. It rains probably at least, well, I can't say for sure because I don't live out by Pocono, but, whenever it rains or storms at Pocono, it's in the middle of the day. And I know that because usually the rain comes east and it winds up in New Jersey, where I live, at about 5, 6, 7 o'clock. But it's out at Pocono at like 3, 4 o'clock. And so if they can find a way to get rain tires at Martinsville, hopefully in the future they can get them for other tracks like Pocono. Make sure, let's look at some of these courses and see if it'll work. I think it'll work at Pocono. There's no really heavy turns. It'll probably work at the Brickyard, but that's going to be a road course this year anyway for some stupid reason. The other thing that NASCAR needs to get rid of are Monday afternoon races, because these suck and nobody can watch them. I see a lot of people, argue with others that are complaining that they can't watch this, and, like, it makes no sense to me. Because people that argue with, most people are home and they can watch it, it's like, no, most people aren't really home. A lot of people have work. Like, people that argue with these Monday afternoon races, people that argue in defense of them being a good thing are the ones that don't have jobs or don't have school. Usually they start them at like 3 o'clock or so, or 2 o'clock. Like, that's a prime time for classes. And a lot of students have classes in the afternoon because, college students, I'm talking about this from a college perspective. Usually what college students do is get those afternoon classes so we don't have to do morning classes. I like morning classes, but a lot of other college kids will pick all afternoon classes if they can. Sleep in a little bit, it's a commodity to have afternoon classes. And so starting races at 2 o'clock when most people are in class from 110 to 240 or 250 to 420, that's just not a good business thing. And then most people work 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. And then kids are in school until, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I guess it's kind of like specific to region anymore in terms of, high school and middle school and elementary school. But I hope that they just start getting these start times in earlier on Sundays, so that way they don't have to race on Monday. And if they do race on Monday, race in the damn afternoon when people can watch it. I mean, come on. It's not that difficult, and people have been complaining about this for years. Read your Twitter comments, NASCAR. I mean, people are right. Start these races earlier. Even if you have to shorten them by a little bit. Maybe the Coca-Cola 600 is now the Coca-Cola 500. Who cares? Okay? Like, compared to the other, I know why they do it. They want to do it because they want to compare it to Monaco and the Indy 500, which usually happen on the same weekend. But the Coca-Cola 600 doesn't even compare to those races. So move that to a 500-mile race. Move some of these other ones down a little bit. I mean, I'm not a fan of speeding up sports or anything, but like, with races that there might be rain, just like announce beforehand that you're gonna shoot them, or like shorten them. I mean, like announce beforehand that you're going to make these races shorter. You can do that, and people won't complain that much because at least you'll get the racing on time, and it's a lot less anticlimactic than actually getting it rained out. Invest in a meteorologist and stop doing these Monday start times.